we'll try as much as possible to be really lightweight and just focus on parang lighting yung interest nyo um, on AI, no? So they call it AI, but it's medyo misnomer siya kasi broad topic ang AI. We're really going to focus on LLMs. Although I think we can play a bit with VLMs, no? We'll see kung may time kasi yung challenge talaga dito is making it work on your local machine, um, and really looking at productivity, no? So and not just productivity but parang being able to play around with LLMs as toys, sabihin natin. So parang kasi you will always hear about these things in medyo syempre highfalutin concepts, ganyan, or maybe mga hard to reach places, no, yung ChatGPT, ganyan, which are all um, really fascinating tools, but it's either may paywall siya, no, or it's so hard to understand if you try to like play around with it on your own, no. And for me, definitely it's good if you can learn the theory, no? Pero siyempre if dadaanan mo pa yung sobrang raming math and all of that just to be able to appreciate, parang baka by the time na nadudong ka na sa gagamitin mo na yung tool, wala na burnout ka na. So parang yun, I don't like that, no? Parang I would, for tonight, ang focus lang natin is parang, sige nga, tingnan ko na yung kayang gawin today ng current technology. That's more closer to humans, no? Yung parang day-to-day people. Um, And then hopefully that will spark some interest sa inyo and then maybe you can try to parang explore it more on your own, no? Sige. So that's the pangarap. So let me know, just drop if you have any questions. Pero we'll try to steer away from too technical stuff. Sige. Um, so yeah, so yung topic natin is local LMs for humans. So yeah. So yung pinaka-outline ng talk is looking at I'll try to give some context on the landscape. First, bakit ganito yung setup, and then an overview of the different parang tooling na nag-emerge out of the parang ecosystem. And then some system requirements kasi sa totoo lang these are really resource hungry tools. So in a way it will still work pero it's going to be slow. Pero I'll try to demonstrate. Um, and then we'll just quickly talk about prompt engineering, bakit siya important, and we'll probably try to show. Tapos we'll focus a lot more on use cases. So mabilis lang to, siguro mga first 10 minutes, and then we'll focus more on use cases. And then alongside that magde-demo ako. And then some tips na on how to parang okay Mike, ano ngayon? So something like that. And I'm hoping by the end of this, meron kayong mga natutunan na magagamit nyo kaagad sa work nyo, either sa work nyo or personal life nyo. Or meron kayong parang, uy, gusto kong itry yun. Tapos pag-experimentohan ko. Something like that. Okay, let's look at history first. No? So what are LLMs and why run them locally? So I'll talk a bit about the history. No? So medyo ilang years in the making na talaga ang journey ng large language models, no. So actually hindi ko na nalagay yung history ng language models on its own. It's really the yung parang pinaka nag-drive talaga ng changes is really the transformer paper which happened in 2017 by Google, no. Bakit kasi yung major thing kasi that really changed was yung ability to scale in terms of the training. If you look at the history of language models, they really tried, maraming attempt to really train large language models. And then during that time, yung definition ng large was in the million parameters pa lang. And yung million samples ng data. Hindi pa nila talaga na-experiment yung mga sobrang large because they were hitting bottlenecks, no. Yung architectures, no, yung architectures before transformers, it's usually parang at a certain level ng either amount of data or amount of training, epochs, etc. na nagkakaroon ng issues yung yung models, no? So somewhere around there nagde-degrade siya. Si Transformer, it enabled longer training times, larger data. So yun yung isang seminal talaga na paper. So between 2017 to 2022, na-develop na yung GPT, so generative pre-trained models. But yung parang pinaka major talaga na everyone I'm sure remembers was the release of ChatGPT, the chatbot. So I'm highlighting chatbot because definitely it's not just a large language model. No? So there's an interface, there is an interaction, and the fact na they really publicly made it available. No? That really parang exposed everyone. Uy, pwede pala to. No, kasi before that, everyone, well, not really everyone, but at least the academics, the researchers knew na there is something that can be done, or the potential of the GPT model with respect to being able to predict, or being able to train larger. Lumabas na siya. So actually, if you read the original GPT paper, they already discussed it, no, yung mga emerging behavior ng isang language model once you look at the billion parameter, etc. No? So, pero yung implication niya hasn't really been explored up until not until the public implication was not really explored, not until the time it was the ChatGPT was made public. Now, come 2023, well, and personal opinion ko lang to, no? Syempre, a lot of different companies wanted to parang catch up, no? Kasi, syempre, even until today, medyo state of the art talaga si ChatGPT. So they want to be able to catch up. Meta had a different strategy, no? Meta thought na, okay, since leading na sila, let's catch up using through community, no, through community yung approach nila. And although sa totoo lang, medyo I kind of feel na medyo accidental lang to, napilitan lang sila. They eventually release yung Llama family of large language models. So before, they initially released pero hindi pa siya public. They just announced na, oh, we're also making our own LLM, etc., etc. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the way na-leak siya. And then eventually they decided, sige, nangyari na, let's just publicly release it. And then medyo from there, parang nagtuloy-tuloy na siya. So what do we mean by tuloy-tuloy na siya? Kasi what happened was when they released it, they didn't like fully release it. Like kunyari, the training data that they did not release. They only really released the weights as well as the inference code. Pero it was enough to create an ecosystem around it, because yung community, parang, uy, syempre, alam mo naman, no, if developer ka, it's nice to be able to see na, uy, ganyan na pala yung technology today. Parang, syempre, you want to be able to parang create your own or try to develop your own and create parang tooling around it, no? Para hindi lang si ChatGPT yung talagang nag-exist, no? So yun yung parang, I guess, democratization component nun. Kasi the reality is, mahirap to democratize yung gantong type of technology. It's really gate-kept around data, no? So parang you need to have access to a lot of data. Another is you need to have access to infrastructure, no? And you need to have access to a lot of, very good and smart developers and data scientists and, research scientists that to be able to develop the right tools, no? So, ang raming blocks, no? So with the release of the Meta models, the Llama models, as well as the inference weights, medyo nag-come together yung community. Ang raming tools na lumabas, ang raming na develop. And this is where lumabas si Llama CPP. So si Llama CPP, essentially it's an inference engine. So when I say inference engine, it connects to a model and then siya yung nag-feed ng information doon para ma-produce yung yung chat, no, yung conversation mo with the chatbot or with the language model, in order to complete yung cycle. So you can see here the pipeline. So you start with your model, in this case Llama CPP, and then you have your inference engine, no, and then which all comes up to the chatbot. So that essentially Llama CPP essentially enabled that. What makes Llama CPP unique is that it allows any person, no, as long as meron kang CPU, to do inference, no. Syempre GPU is better, pero ito just CPU mabubuhay ka na, no. So what it means is that even if wala kang billion-dollar infrastructure, if you have the right model, no, na kasya dun sa machine na meron ka, mabubuhay ka na, no. And they were able to prove it kasi when Meta launched yung series of language models nila, they introduced smaller variants, no. So yung during that time yung pinaka popular was the 7 billion parameter and then the 13 billion parameter. And then syempre the trend is medyo smaller na kasi around 2023 a lot of people wanted to challenge yung approach ni ChatGPT, which is larger bigger models are larger and bigger models are smarter, which is in a way totoo, pero some of the recent models medyo na-challenge na, no. A good example is si DeepSeek. Okay, so ultimately yan yung what happened after lumabas ng Llama CPP. Ang rami ng additional tooling that came that essentially tried to slowly complete the ecosystem, no. So for example, if you want to create your own chatbot, kaya mo nang gawin because of that. So I'll talk about yung mga different tools and ano ibig sabihin nun. But ultimately, bottom line is that yung ChatGPT is great, no? Pero syempre yung mga developers and data scientists and all of that, they want to challenge that, no? Parang, oh, it's great, pero internet is required and there's cost and there is lack of control because you're sending your data, no, to ChatGPT. Granted, it is state of the art, no? So what they want to do is you want to be able to develop or run your own language model, which is enabled by pre-trained models, no, yung mga foundation models. They want to be able to train their own and they want to be able to experiment with that. So run offline, meaning hindi siya through the internet, through your own machine. And the idea, syempre, is that it's completely free and open source. So pwede tayo mag-collaborate around it. Then syempre, full privacy kasi you own the data, hindi siya lalabas. So yan yung parang pangarap nun. Okay. So today, fast forward after 2023, ito na ngayon yung parang, for me, no, ito yung my own interpretation of the current ecosystem of local Llama. So there is, of course, yung non-local Llama, ito yung mga Claude and all of that. Pero ang focus talaga natin is yung mga completely local, you can self-host, you can run on your own, syempre given the right hardware, given the right software. Yung pinaka nasa heart nito, let me just highlight. Ito, yung pinaka nasa heart nito is yung mga open weight models, no? So yung mga pinaka popular syempre si Llama, I think si Llama, and then we have DeepSeek, and then we have Phi by Microsoft, and then we have Gemma by Google, and then we have Mistral. Marami pang iba yan, pero ito yung mga popular, no? So sila yung parang pinaka-anchor mo. And then there are different parang areas of application. And it's usually, makikita mo to usually sa end-to-end na flow ng model development, no? So you start with yung mga fine-tuning, no? If you have your additional data and you want to take a pre-trained model and fine-tune them, meron kang mga frameworks if you want to develop models and then gagawa ka ng application on top of it, no? You have your inference engine. So inference means you take the model and you run it, no? Parang magpapatakbo ka ng sarili mong model. And kasama dito si Llama CPP. There are a lot more for different types of applications. Pero si Llama CPP, I'm highlighting it because siya yung pinaka friendly for normal people. Well, not so friendly, no? But at least it enabled the friendliness. And then there are the server and API layers, no? So andito si Llama. And then we have the user interfaces. So tandaan nyo itong mga to, back-end lang to, wala pa tong website, no? As in the case of ChatGPT. So ito yung front-end, ito yung mga front-end. And then we have other, mga stuff dito. So for example, may mga parang orchestration framework. So ano yung example ng orchestration framework? Let's say you want to play around with multiple language models. You want to be able to connect with other systems. You want to be able yung model mo to use tools, no? So ito yung mga yon. And then ito naman is if you want to be able to parang play around, deploy, if you want to use it in larger cases or mas maraming users. And then the last one is yung mga repository, no? So yung pinaka-popular dito is si Hugging Face, kasi they allow essentially parang siyang the GitHub of AI, deep learning. You're able to upload data, you're able to upload mga models, and then nakakapag-deploy ka rin. Another one na fairly popular is the Model Scope, pero from China, no? So ito yung reigning na repository naman nila on the China side. And then syempre we have GitHub. So ito yung mga parang things na you can look at to see saan ba yung mga trending popular models or frameworks that are up and growing. So marami yan. I won't discuss all of them today. Ang focus lang natin today or tonight is ito. So si Olyama and then si Misty. Yan. Ito lang tonight. Wala nang iba. Kasi yan pa lang, I'm hoping marami na tayong excitement na mapoproduce. So, yan. I'll share naman this PDF, no, si kay Joe, tapos si Joe na bahala mag-distribute. But if you want to learn more, you can just Google these things. Okay, let's start with Olyama. So si Olyama is, you can just, habang nagdi-discuss ako, pwede kayong mag-visit dun sa website, no? But essentially, this is a wrapper for Llama CPP. So ang ibig sabihin nun, sa ilalim ng Olyama, if bubuklatin mo siya, si Llama CPP yung laman niya. So if you go back dun sa history niya, si Llama CPP allows you to do inference on basic hardware, no? So kung naka-laptop ka, check. Wala kang GPU, check. Naka-desktop ka, check. Basta you have a CPU and hopefully compatible sa kanya. Even, I think even mobile devices kaya niya, no? So Androids. Syempre, there will be ano tawag doon, there will be drawbacks, no, trade-offs. So syempre the slower yung CPU mo, the slower yung inference, etc. But the point is makakapagpatakbo ka. You just need to look for the right model. So bakit Olyama yung binebenta ko? Kasi unang-una, it's completely open source and free. Walang, wala siyang ever. Since it's also running on Llama CPP. Pero the main difference is si Llama CPP is so hard to set up. Si Olyama, you just run or install or whatever and okay ka na. There's wala masyadong thinking. Although it's mainly a CLI tool, pero I'll show you later. It's really super simple to run. So, ang pinaka dinadala ni Olyama to the table is that it's easier to use compared to Llama CPP. So, yan yung highlight, no? So this is your backend. This is our backend. The next one is Misty. So syempre kung may backend and then normal na tao lang naman tayo, ayaw na natin terminal or mag command line. Kailangan natin ng front end na we can use, no? And na siya, no? Wala na tayong coding na gagawin. Dito papasok si Misty. So si Misty is siya yung parang ChatGPT equivalent natin. So no terminal needed. Nandito na lahat ng mga tools natin, no? So we can chat with chat interface na siya. We can upload files, we can, things na majority, hindi lahat ng features ni ChatGPT ay copy niya, pero good enough, no? Sabihin na natin. Pero for me, yung pinaka-important na feature ni Misty is, again, it's free. May paywall siya at to a certain extent, pero it's very simple lang yung parang licensing nila. If you're using Misty for commercial purposes, then it's paid. Pero otherwise, kung personal lang siya, it's free. Ganun lang siya, kasimple, no? It's not really complicated. So wala naman silang tawag ito, parang ina-upload or whatever na data. It's completely offline. no? So yun yung kagandahan sa kanya. Okay, so what you need to run local LLMs, what do you need? First is you need Oyama, no? For Oyama, at least 8 gigabytes ng memory minimum. So pinaka-ideal is at least 16, pero kung kaya, actually the more the better, siguro that's what I can say. Usually I think yung pinaka-ideal is around 64 to 128. Assuming CPU only yung gagawin mo. And you're going to run very large models. Pero if hindi, I think 8 to 16 gig mabubuhay ka na. No? I think ideally 8x x86 na CPU, no? So di pa yata sila compatible sa ARM. And then GPU, yung pinaka-ideal is NVIDIA, but I think gumagana na sila sa mga AMD na GPU, no? Hindi ko pa na-test. Pero they run in Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. So gumagana yan lahat. I can demonstrate naman later. Naka-Windows ako na laptop right now. Next is for Misty, compatible naman siya sa lahat na to, and it's also a very lightweight na desktop application, no? Teka lang, ipakita ko yung sa GPU support just to for wait lang, wait. Open natin to. For the GPU support, yan. So may link doon sa page, makikita nyo naman siya. So nandito yung parang list of GPUs, no? Yan, nandiyo dyan siya. I-share ko sa chat para no, pero yan. Pero so the way Oyama works is wala ka nang gagawin. Pagka-run mo sa kanya, if nakadetect siya ng GPU, gagamitin niya yung GPU. Kung wala siyang ma-detect, diretso siyang CPU. Ganon. That's how it works. Pero ang isang added na thing with Misty is that si Misty, iko-control niya si Oyama. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Let's say yung CPU mo is only, let's say 2 gig. Kasi yung laptop ko 2 gig yung GPU memory ko, no? Pwede mong i-control na 2 gig or 1 gig ilalagay dun sa GPU, and then the rest is sa RAM, normal na RAM, no? So may mga ganun siyang technicalities, no? Pero if you're not too technical and you just run it on its own, itatry niyang i-run yung parang pinaka-optimal para sa case niya. Okay, so the thing also with Misty is that you can also connect not just with Oyama, you can also connect with the paid commercial language models, no? Yung mga ChatGPT, etc. Pero sa case natin tonight, it's just the local. Okay, so I think by now magaling na kayo dito, no? Pero just to quick review lang, majority ng parang way for us to really maximize yung impact ng large language models is prompt engineering, no? So for me, very simple lang mag-prompt engineering. It's be as concise as you can, kasi you're trying to parang give a lot of context dun sa model para alam niya what to predict next, no? So the more concise you are, the better. So if you can provide the role, you can provide the action, the context, the format, etc., the better. And there is no hard rule for this. You can really try to experiment. Actually, minsan ang favorite na ginagawa ko is gagawa ako ng sample prompt and then ipapa-improve ko siya on its own. And then mag-a-ask ako ng different variations and then pag-experimentoan ko. You can definitely do that. So I wanted to just to review this kasi later magpo-prompt tayo na kung ano-anong kalokohan. Just to give you like a flavor of ano ba yung kayang gawin ng isang local na Yaman. Okay, caveats. I think everyone na by now knows, no, na LLMs hallucinate. So the problem kasi with LLMs is at the end of the day, you can think of them as a random generator, and yung generator, yung tinatry nilang i-generate is the next word. So kahit mali, kahit hindi nila alam, mag-iisip sila ng i-generate, and that's really the challenge with them, no? So it will, malaking chance na it will hallucinate, especially with smaller models. And you'll see here, ito try natin i-ano yun, i-facilitate. Okay. Tapos syempre smaller models do not have, I mean consequently no, smaller models mas lalo na do not have ChatGPT level performance. So it's good. Actually yun yung parang gusto kong output ng talk na to. If you try to experiment on your own, you'll get to see na okay, ito pala yung impact ng larger model or larger data or larger whatever, no. You can see yung parang trade-offs niya. Pero kasi what we want to be able to say is, hindi mo naman kailangan ng sobrang ChatGPT everyday, no? May mga times na baka pwede na to for your cases. You'll see. Multimodal models may require more RAM and GPU. So ano yung multimodal, Mike? Multimodal means models that just do not just work with text. Meron kasing mga models na also include vision, may iba sound, ganyan, no, audio. Pero for the case of Ollama and Misty, kaya nilang mag-work as far as vision language models. No, mga VLMs yung tawag doon. We'll try to do an example of that later. Pero mas priority natin is text. Yan. Expect experimentation, no? So that's why very important yung prompt ability to be able to experiment with prompts and yung mindset na okay lang kahit parang expect mo na mali siya or expect mo na hindi siya ganun ka talino kasi you need to have the right mindset, otherwise madi-disappoint ka and parang ano ba to, Mike, hindi naman gumagana to, no. And I would have to say na yes, totoo, hindi naman talaga siya palagi gumagana, no? Okay, so let's just run through some use cases. So yung first is yung mga personal use cases. So itong mga favorite ko to. So being able to analyze yung to-do list mo. Ano to, no, random lang to, no, pero it's up to you to parang reshape this to your liking. So pag marami kang mga to-do list, pwede mong ipa-analyze, ipa-prioritize for the LLM. If meron kang journal, pwede mong i-drop yung buong journal mo, no? And then mag-self-reflect ka, no? You can summarize mga research papers or PDFs. You can make plans, you can generate stuff, no? Reflections. So hindi lahat ng models are created the same. Some models have limitations based dun sa size nila and capacity nila, and we'll try to demonstrate that later. So for example, one thing na you need to think about is yung tinatawag na context size. So context size is essentially yung amount of text na pwede mong isaksak sa isang pass-through ng LLM. That's not always the case, hindi siya palaging nangyayari. Kasi minsan may limitation sila. And therefore, minsan kailangan mong i-chunk siya, meaning i-cut mo together, tapos tsaka mo siya ipasa sa language model. No? So you need to be able to be creative and experiment. Then, I also want to talk about some office use cases. So maraming pwedeng gawin sa office. And you can actually, some of the things na already sinabi ko kanina can also be reframed in the office setting, no? So pwedeng siya, parang assistant type, pwedeng pang generation ng text, no, or rewriting ng document, or pwede ring sentiment. Nakakatuwa nga kasi parang there's a lot of parang pre-existing sentiment analysis methods, no, pero although it's not really standard yet, pero promising yung approach if you're going to use language models, no. Although ano lang talaga, black box na talaga, mahirap to really understand yung interpretation, no. And then syempre summarization. So yung usually na-ask to sa akin, no, so is it possible to summarize meeting notes or transcripts, write memos or policies, analyze charts, no, in the case of vision models, and then analyze text and documents, no? Especially sa mga work that are very text heavy, no. We'll try to showcase some of that, no. Okay, so before we go sa demo, I'd like to show a bit of technical parts kasi I'm sure there are some of you that are technical in nature and iniisip nyo na parang, okay, sige, pero I want to be able to program with Ollama. Actually, you can definitely do. So, si Ollama, if you install si Ollama, it will expose REST API. No? Para sa mga marunong mag-REST API and you want to try to call the REST API through R, ito yung in-expose niya, no? It's port 11434. And then, ang ginagawa niya is that ginagaya lang niya yung ChatGPT na ChatGPT na REST structure, no? So, ganito. No? And then you just need to pass the following information. So ano bang model yung gagamitin mo, ano yung prompt, yung actual na prompt mo, and then whether it's streaming or not. Ganun lang. You can look at more details on the API here, no? Pero ganito yung example na output niya, no? So it returns a JSON data, formatted data. So, and then, yeah. So papakita niya yung response, no? Mahaba pa yan, kinat off ko na lang. No? Teka lang, we'll try to showcase it. Okay. Sige. So, hindi ko na demo to. Pero actually, hindi. Sige, pakita natin. Yan. Nakikita nyo ba yung yung, mapapalaki ko ba to? Can you guys see the command line?
Yep.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, so, wait. Wala kasi akong copy nung Wala akong copy nung curl. Actually, may curl ba ako? Hindi ko alam. Meron. Okay. So dito, so ano to, naka-install na yung Ollama sa akin. So if you run Ollama, makikita yung mga commands, serve, etc., run, pull, stop. So yan yung parang list of commands na you can do. So list yung pinaka-important kasi you can look at ano ba yung save ko. You can look at the different models na installed. No? So here, marami na akong na-install. Let's look at how to download first. And then, so, pakita ko muna yung how to call the 3.2. Dito pa si 3.2. Yeah, mat3. Ito na lang, si 1B. So if you paste here, siya wait lang. Hindi siya gumagana dito. Wait lang, sorry. Yan. Kita ba? Kaso lang hindi ko yata ma-zoom to eh. So, ay. Control. Yan. So if I run curl dun sa target API natin, and then I call the yan, ito yung lalabas, no? So si R programming language, etc. So ganun lang kasimple how to call the API. Let's look at navigating lang yung website. So exit lang ako dito. So if you go sa ollama.com, So if you go sa website, you can click yung models and then you will see the different models available. So ito na rin yung parang repository nila. So for example, gamitin natin si DeepSeek. So you want to use DeepSeek. You click DeepSeek and then makita mo dito yung different sizes. Okay. So, ano yung general rule? Ang general rule is the larger, so this is the parameter. No? So yung parameter is yung parang size of the model. So the larger the better. Yun yung parang rule of thumb. Pero syempre, the larger yung parameter, it also means larger yung size nung model. No? The context is essentially yung parang amount of text na kaya niyang i-handle. And then yung input is yung type of data. No? So most of this will be text lang. So yung basic na gagamitin natin, a good starting point is just use the smallest parameter size and then go up as you try to experiment, no? Kung ano ba yung gusto mong level of performance. Syempre, yung limitation dito is syempre your hardware. So depende kung gaano ka-powerful yung hardware mo. If meron kang dedicated na GPU or marami kang memory or malakas yung CPU mo, etc. No? So paano mag-download? So ganito. So you call Oyama LS. No? So, kunyari, this time, i-delete ko lang yung, yung copy ko ng DeepSeek R1. Chok. Yan. So, dinelete ko. So, pag magda-download ka, just type pull, and then lalabas yan. Si manifest. Yan. Yan. So, makikita nyo dito, 2 minutes to download. Pag tapos na siya, then you can start calling it. So, sige, matagal pa yan. Nagda-download pa yan. Let's look at an example of how to use kuha tayo ng isa, no? Kunwari itong si Llama 3.2. So to use it, ang gagawin nyo lang is you open, type nyo Llama run, and then ipapasa nyo yung model na gagamitin nyo, and then you press enter. Tapos, if you look at teka lang, ano nga ba yun? Task Manager. If you look at Task Manager, tapos, assuming naka-Windows ka, if you look at Task Manager, assuming naka-Windows ka, lalabas dito na, ayan, nakikita nyo ba? Ito, 2 gigabyte lang kasi yung memory ng GPU ko eh. So, pero dito, makikita nyo na ayan o, 1.2 gig yung kinakain ng, anong model yun? Yama 3.2 1B. So 1B parang essentially 1 gigabyte siya, no? Ayun, 1.2 gig yung kinakain niya. 'Di ba? So if you try to load a larger model, ita-try niyang i-fit dito and then lahat ng extra dito sa memory babaksak. No, ganyan siya. Pero syempre it will run slower. So dito, going back, yan, naka-load na siya. So pwede natin siyang kausapin. Hello. Hi. Yeah, hello. So, hi. I'm fine. So, kahit pa paano mabilis siya, di ba? So, nakikipag-usap na siya. Ano bang maganda? So, do you know what our programming language is? Yes. Yan. A popular programming blah, 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 blah. Oh, diba? ggplot, alam pa yan. Diba? Okay? So, ngayon, just to complete lang yung demonstration, i-force natin siyang mag-hallucinate. So, do you know Joe Brilliance? I'm familiar. He's an American YouTube personality. Wow, let's go!
Amerikano na ako.
The best ka talaga, Joe.
Basketball player pa ako. Oh.
Yan. So ito yung sinasabi ko na parang large language model is essentially a function, di ba? It's a function, and like all other function, basta magbato ka ng data, it will produce an output, di ba? In this case, a large language model tries to predict the next word. So if nakakita siya, maybe somewhere sa training data niya, merong Joe Brillantes doon. And maybe Joe, maybe you Brillantes, I don't know, no? Those words are related to this some other words, etc. And then and therefore, if ito try niyang pilitin na magkaroon ng output, no? So kahit paano cohesive, 'di ba? Cohesive yung output niya, but it doesn't really make sense. Right? And if you tried to study NLP, yung mga seminal, yung mga original na language models, sa totoo lang ganun sila. No? If you try to train on much smaller data sets, medyo talaga random gibberish yung makukuha mo. Hi sir, question. Since nag-hallucinate siya, pwede ko ba siya i-train to make the correction? No, ano siya? So definitely you can try to train it better. Like kunwari, pwede mo siyang i-train na on more knowledge about Joe Brillantes. Pero what you will only be able to really do is to parang impart or parang improve yung probability of the correct information about Joe Brillantes to parang higher probability to come out as a prediction. Pero regardless, kahit anong gawin mo, the fact, yung underlying principle na ang large language model is a model that tries to predict the next word, it means na fundamentally palagi siyang mag-hallucinate. You can't remove it. So how are other applications doing it, no? And I'm saying applications because on a model level you can't do it, no? One angle na originally ginawa ni ChatGPT, no, or in this case ni OpenAI, is the use of RLHF, no? So human reinforcement learning with human feedback. So ang ginawa nila is that they tried to identify particular topics, no, that's really relevant to how a human thinks and ano yung ina-expect. Diba, if you try to read up and listen to a lot of AI ethics topics, no, parang maraming mga AI ethical stuff na you don't want as your product, kasi product nila si ChatGPT, to be the topic of conversation. So yung mga like how to make bombs, no, child porn, mga ganun, no, yung mga scary stuff. So regardless, no, if you ask that, they will result by saying, oh, I can't talk about that. Essentially, they trained it lang na, oy, if you hear na ito yung topic na gusto ng user, don't talk about it. Ganun lang, just produce this word. Essentially, they just did that. Parang heavily, they trained the model such that every time marinig nila yung topic close to this set of taboo words, ito yung lalabas na output. Ganun lang. Pero there's another field, no, in LLMs called jailbreaking, no. Essentially, ang jailbreaking is you're trying to fool the LLM na parang kahit paano siya na train, mapapalabas niya yung mga taboo words na yun, no. So because ultimately, fundamentally, it's still a model that tries to predict the next word. Nagkataon lang is yung they tried to cover majority of the cases, pero hindi lahat ng edge cases they will be able to cover. So yan yung fundamental na kahinaan or gap, no, of LLMs. Yon. Especially the way kasi kunyari, for example, si ChatGPT, the way it's trained kasi, it tries to help you. Parang ganun. Bihira na it will try to tell you na you're wrong. Because it's trained that way. So there's to be honest, if you try to learn developing LLMs on your own, yan yung number one na may experience yung problema. Sobrang hirap to train LLMs to do what you want. And if you try to research yung like may teams, like paano yung structure ng team sa isang fully mature LLM organization like OpenAI. They have dedicated teams just for that. It's called alignment. So meron silang alignment department. Ang ginagawa lang nila is just to force the LLM to to follow orders essentially. That's why another makita nyo rin, there's a type of trained model, it's called instruct, no? Kasi if yung foundation model, yung itry yung i-run, madaldal siya, ang daldal ng mga LLM. Kasi again, they're just predicting the next word, no? So I hope na sagot ko yung answer. Pero actually this is really a big problem for them. Especially from a product point of view. Kasi if you're a business and you want to use this as a product, ayaw mong madaldal yung, 'di ba, yung LLM mo. Gusto mo it will only talk within a certain script, 'di ba? So pero anyway, thankfully, we're just looking at this from a personal point of view, 'di ba? So okay. Let's move on. So, napakilala ko na sa iyo si Oyama, ito siya, no? The next na ipapakilala ko sa inyo is si Misty. No? So, si Misty. So I'm sure marami sa inyo parang sumakit yung ulo na parang, ano ba yan, Mike? Meron tayong terminal. Yan. So, this time, papakilala ko si Misty. Ito si Misty. Yan. Delete ko lang yung mga chat ko kanina para from scratch. Okay, so nakita nyo ba? Nakita nyo. Okay, so eto si Misty. Siguro one thing na I would like to call out is if you download Misty, actually si Misty, meron na siyang Ollama sa loob niya. So if you click settings, meron dito local AI and then remote model providers. If you click local AI, manage local AI models, ito meron ditong local AI service is not running. Ibig sabihin nito is that if you click start, it will download and set up Ollama. No? And then doon na siya ko-connect. Pero I wanted to demonstrate yung hiwalay, yung front end and back end para makita nyo how it's composed. No? So in this case, meron na tayong running na Ollama sa machine, and then we're going to use remote model providers. Ano to? Dalawa. Bakit dalawa? Alam ko na. So ito yung ginamit ko, no? So si test. Ayan. So if you open, ayan, but if you click add remote model provider, yan, lalabas siya dito, no, as a list. And then you will click Ollama remote. From here, pwede nyong i-identify kung saan kayo magko-connect, no? Yung default na port na ginagamit ng Ollama is ito, 11.434. You can just Google that. Although sa akin ang gamit ko is 435. Pag naka-connect kayo properly, you can click fetch models. Chok, and then lalabas yung models na naka-download sa inyo. If you select that, and then you click update, kasi parang i-cache niya yung ginagamit na models. So if okay na dyan, you go back dun sa main interface ni Misty. From here, pwede na natin siya gamitin. So makikita nyo yung interface, it's very ChatGPT vibes, di ba? So dito, the difference lang is we have ability to select yung model na we want to use. So kunwari, you select here, ayan yung mga selection ng models natin. No? So balikan natin yung ginamit natin kanina, si Llama 3.21b, which is ito. No? And then, ulitin natin yung ano natin kanina. No? So, hi. Yun, how can I help you today? Anong isa ko pang sinabi kanina? Sinabi ko lang, I'm fine. Fine. It's nice to hear. Gandi, no? Do you know? Yan. Yan. So, R is a programming language. Diba? Meron na kayong ChatGPT on your laptop na hindi na-expose yung data niya. So, for example, let's say you're working on very sensitive data and therefore binan ng mga boss nyo gumamit ng outside large language models, then this is your opportunity to be able to play around, no? Ano ba yung pwede nyong gawin with the LLM? Syempre force natin siyang mag hallucinate. So, hi, do you know Joe Brilliantes? Yo! Oh, bago ka na. Author, podcaster, and comedian ka na ngayon. No? Absurd
Oo nga
comment
eh.
on the... Oo. Diba? The Joe Budden. What? Okay. Misty versus... Oh, actually, yes, Sir Rad. Actually, meron akong slide about this. There are a lot of other front-end tools na you can use. LM Studio is one. I will demonstrate why mamaya ko gusto si Misty. Pero feature parity-wise, hindi masyado nagkakalayo si Misty and si LM Studio. So definitely LM Studio is something that you can also use. Hindi sila nagkakalayo. Pareho silang free, pareho silang front-end. They also both use Oyama. So both are recommended. There are actually a lot more. Yeah. Yeah. So na-introduce ko na si Misty. Okay, let's try to look at the use cases. No? So, personal use cases, analyze to-do list. So, kunwari gawa tayo ng to-do list. Paano gumawa ng list? Ito tayo. Gawa tayong to-do list. So, kunwari. Hindi, wag na, boring kasi yan eh. Doon tayo sa medyo mahirap. So, mag-summarize tayo ng PDF. So, meron akong dinownload na PDF. Ito, see. See, attention is all you need. Yan. Hindi ko kung kilala niyo yan. So see, attention is all you need. So ang maganda with Misty is that it helps abstract some of the tooling that you need. So for example, if you're going to use Oyama on its own, text lang yung kaya mong gawin. Pero si Misty, it allows you to consume PDF documents. So dito sa lower right, there is attach images and documents. So click natin yan and then dito tayo, document. Drag and drop documents here. So kunin natin yung document natin na si attention is all you need. And then, makikita nyo dito, ayan, document attached. Yung isa ko lang call out is that you need to check yung model options nyo. So, meron dito, ayan, yung context window size is only 32,000. So, again, yung parang, yan yung amount of text na kaya niyang i-hold. Pero, if maglalagay ka kasi ng document, usually malaking number of text yon, no? So you need to take that ito. So magandang way is for you to double check yung context window size ng model mo. So we go sa models, we look for Llama, nasa si Llama, 3.2 and then 1B. Yan. 3.2 1B is around 128,000, no? So we go back here, we change this to 128. 1, 2, 3. Yan. And then we save it, no? Para lang ready siya to be able to put as much text as it can. So, summarize this document. Okay, so makikita nyo dito, kino-consume niya yung document and then yan, nag-aano siya, no? Whatever. Ngayon, ang problem dito, syempre, it will work as fast as kung anong kaya ng machine mo. No? So if you're naka-CPU or naka-low, medyo low end, it will work, pero it will not be fast. Essentially, ganun. So how does it work? Essentially, ang ginagawa niya is it's really just a more fancy prompt engineering. So Misty will try to read yung buong document and then lahat ng kaya niyang isaksak as part of the prompt dun sa model, isasaksak niya. No? Essentially, ganun. Para when it adds the question, which is or the instruction, summarize this document, ang tawag dito, meron siyang correct context. Otherwise, syempre, mag-hallucinate siya. Hindi ko lang na-measure kung gaano karami to, ay gaano katagal. Pero siguro mga 2 minutes yata. Kasi maliit lang yung GPU ko rin. Sige, so while waiting, let's look at the slides ulit. Okay. Actually, medyo covered na yun, no? So lahat parang comprehensive na yun if we're able to demonstrate that. Chak, wala pa. Okay. Siguro yung next na I'd like to demonstrate is to talk about is yung other things na you can do with Misty, no? So what are the other things na you can do with Misty besides use it like ChatGPT, no? So pwede kang mag-upload ng file, pwede kang mag-chat sa kanya. You can create prompt libraries. No? So ito siya. So ano ibig sabihin ng prompt? Ay mamaya na lang kasi hindi ko maano. Baka magalaw. Essentially, ang ginagawa ng prompt library is that pwede kang mag-save na mga pre-made na prompts. Ganun lang siya. Parang, kasi minsan, may mga types of prompts na you like kunwari, write this as a researcher, may parang format ka na that works for you and you want it to be readily available, no? So it's really a system or para siyang, kumbaga kung nagpo-program ka, meron kang IDE, si Misty acts like that. No? So pwede mo, you can save all of that. You can also compare model behaviors, no? So you can split the chat into 2 and then you can load different models simultaneously, no? Hopefully ma-demonstrate natin yun. Pero ang bagal yun talaga. So, titingnan natin mamaya later. You can also connect search engines in real time. So ang ginagawa niya is that it will try to search. So kunyari may i-type ka si Joe Brillantes, ganyan. Ita-try niyang i-google yon and then it pulls the data from the internet and then i-add niya as part of the If may mga gumagamit dito ng ChatGPT tsaka DeepSeek, ginagawa na nila yun today, no? Hindi ko yata siya ma-demonstrate today kasi naharangan ng proxy ko yung nasa office kasi ako, hinaharangan ng proxy yung paggamit ng search engine. Pero you can try this now on your own. Siguro yung tip ko lang is that sometimes you need to tell Misty to use the internet, no? So kailangan ko may question ka and then magse-search ka sa internet. Sasabihin mo kay Misty na you need to search the internet. Yan. I will try to demo it later. Ito yung button. So real-time data. Okay. Another thing na we can do is we can use image-based prompts. I'll try to demo this in a bit. Using mga vision language models. And then, the best for me is you can also host your own RAG. It's very simple yung RAG ni ang tawag dito, ni Misty. Pero, baka gumana na siya para sa use case niyo. So, what's RAG? RAG is essentially a fancy prompt engineering. What it means is that meron kang database of documents. No? In this case, ito siya. So, let me try to... Hindi siya maano. Anyway, sige. Meron kang database of documents, which is here. And then you load it as part of Misty. Every time you prompt Misty, si Misty will try to search yung documents na yun to see kung merong any relevant na information. Relevant is a parang misnomer kasi siya, it's text-based pa rin. So kung ano yung mga related words or maybe near sounding words or near meaning words, yun yung ipo-pull out niya and then i-add niya yun as part of the prompt to the language model. So it's very similar dun sa ginagawa natin ngayon na nag-error siya. Hello. Ay ba natin i-rerun? Try natin ibang model. Wait lang. Sorry, baka mabagal lang kasi yan. Gemma tayo. Gemma 1P. So, yeah, ito actually yung isa ring parang, I guess, con, no, of work, of using something like this. Siyempre, again, limited ka dun sa anong kayang gawin ng machine mo. As well as yung, yeah, ano to? Ay, joke lang, wait. Nag-hallucinate siya. I think kailangan natin 128. So, mahalata nyo pag nag-hallucinate siya. So, it means hindi yan na-load lahat ng data. So, ano yun? Yung context yung problem. Nate-train na yung LLM tungkol kay Joe. Yeah, pag ganun, kailangan mo ng ano yun, parang text related to Joe eh. Okay. Okay, let's go back lang no explanation ko dito. So from here, ito try niyang i-prompt yun. No? So maybe we can try to do an experiment on this. So habang naglo-load yan, we can try to look for a Joe. Si Joe, I think friend ko siya sa ano. Ano to? Wait lang. Is that hindi niya nabasa. Hindi niya nabasa. Wait lang. Let's look for Joe Hernandez. So, gagawa ako ng document. Gagawa ako ng text file. Let's call it Joe. And then, I will just add. Ito, different na to. So, supposedly, mas magaan na to, no? Tingnan natin if it's going to work better. Sorry. Ito, Joe. So, ang ginawa ko lang is I copy-pasted yung LinkedIn page ni Joe. Who is Joe Brillantes? Tingnan natin if this is going to work. Yan, so 128 context. Oh yeah, actually may kita niyo nag-aano siya eh, nag-hallucinate siya minsan kasi I think it's because of a smaller model siya. Let's try to use a larger model. Ito, meron tayong 4B dito. Let's try again.
At least malapit na data related na siya.
Oo nga eh. Kasi, yeah. Let's try it. So dito, may kita niyo yung ano, no, yung parang, eto, via port mo in-access so pwede i-run to. Yes, yes, Sir Rad. Yung port is 11434. Actually, papakita ko yung habang naglo-load yan. No? Ito, yung example ng curl. Ito, Sir Rad. Yan. So this is an example. Ito yung parang API niya. REST endpoint. And then ito yung example ng isa-throw mo na JSON payload. Tapos ito yung response niya. So, tinan mo, ang ano niya, ang tipid naman ng reply niya ngayon, no? Pero tama na. So based on on the expert, is someone connected? 'Di ba? Ang ano? Okay. So ano to, no? Parang you're able to tingnan natin, no? I-inspect natin yung text file just to be safe. No? Parang saan nanggagaling yung text niya. Yan. So ito, kinopy ko lang. Hindi. Tingnan lang natin yung LinkedIn na lang mismo ni Sir Joe. Yan. So dito, saan nakita na connected kami? Baka dito. Ay, mutual groups. Parang walang information na ano, no? So na-extrapolate kaya niya yun. Let's try a different model, no? So Gemma to, let's try Siliama 3.2. Tell me. Yan. Minsan nagmamatter ng malaking bagay yung prompt eh. So, part siya ng parang you want to be able to experiment with either yung prompt, yung model, yung data that you're feeding. So, ano yung bottom line? The bottom line is it's not really that easy. No? It's not really that easy. O, kita mo, no information provided about Joe Brillantes. So, it's not that easy. Maybe we can try, Lord, context window is not that large. 3. Tapos, save natin. Let's try again. Tapos, let's do a demo on, let's do a demo on image. Nasaan yung si Sir Joe Brillantes? Yan nga. After nito, let's try to look at demoing image. Sige, so habang naglo-load yan, let's just go through the... Okay. Okay, so ito yung alternatives to explore, no? So, na-mention na ni Sir Rad yung LM Studio. Other popular na front ends are OpenWebUI. Fairly popular to. The difference is si LM Studio, actually the rest, LM Studio, Misty, GPT-4All are mga desktop applications. Si WebUI is a web interface. So, maglo-launch siya ng web server. Si LM Deploy and VLLM are more advanced tools. So, I don't really recommend. Pero nilagay ko dito parang if you want to research and read about it. No? I think if I'm going to rank them, pinakagusto ko si Misty. Next is si GPT-4All, then si LM Studio. Pero sa totoo lang, very tight yun. Parang hindi sila masyado nagkakaiba. Konti lang yung differences. Konti lang yung differences nila. Ay, hindi na nag-load. Okay. Okay, ito. Siguro, I'd like to be able to demo this, no? So, hindi pa ba? Ano na, guys? Yeah, sige, stop na natin to. No? So I guess you can just try it on your own na lang. Yung what I want to, let's try natin. Hi, hello. Let's try to, gumagana ba siya? Baka naman problematic talaga to. I think Gemma yung mas gumagana eh. Dito tayo kay Gemma. So yung next na I'd like to talk about is yung mga productivity things na you can do, no? So siguro dito muna tayo sa right side. Generally, yung isang kasi since si LLM it predicts text. then ang gusto mong gawin is you want to take advantage of yung text generation niya. So, syempre, marami nang nagsasabi na coding, no? Masyado na highlighted na talaga yung ability for LLMs to be used for code. So, hindi na mag-emphasize doon. What I want to emphasize is yung Markdown. So, si Markdown is essentially a Markdown, no? Para siyang coding, but it's specific to displaying information. In this case, mga documents, no? You can create presentations, you can create PDFs, you can create charts using Markdown. So, anong point ko dito? Ang point ko dito is we can definitely use LLMs to generate text, no, and documents using Markdown. Pero you will need to use intermediary tools kasi si LLM by itself cannot produce ang tawag dito, the actual documents, no? Kailangan you take the Markdown tool and, dadali mo siya sa parang converter, no? So we'll try to demo that. Oh, wow, what's happening? Siya nag-ano, no? Let's try to, wait, baka yun yung problem. Nag-crash na siya. Ah, Ayun, okay. So, I think ano ko, ayun, stop running. Naghang yata yung Yama 3.2. I-stop ko lang. Oh, how to? Wait lang ha. Oh, Yama. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, restart ko lang si Misty. Okay, so let's do an example, no? Ang gawin natin, let's start simple. Let's try to create a diagram, no? So, yung isang popular na markdown for diagrams is si Mermaid. Yan. Si Mermaid, Mermaid Live, si Mermaid Live, tawag doon? Markdown. So, let's say, gawa tayo ng, let's just choose 1B para mabilis. Testing natin. Hi. Okay, so, kunyari, tell me about our program. Which, tapos from here, generate a chart using Mermaid. Yan. So ito, you can feed this into Mermaid Markdown with yung live editor ni Mermaid. No? So this is an example. Pwede mong feed yan dyan. Yan. So now you have a chart. Diba? Siyempre, you can edit this. and all of that, no? Let's try to, so there's another one, it's called, ang tawag dito, C.viz, no? C.graph.viz, ito. Ito medyo, ano to, medyo old school to. Isa to sa parang pinaka sinaunang graphing tools. So, convert this into graph.viz. So you can just drop it. Oh, yeah, syempre hindi siya perfect, no? Teka lang, may mga error siya. Yeah, so actually, yan yung ano, yan yung problem. If hindi mo, I mean, kumbaga classic na problem siya, no? So if hindi mo kabisado on how to use it, then magkakaroon ka ng errors. Pero essentially that's it, no? Wait lang. Wait. Okay, another na we can do is we can convert this into a PowerPoint slide. So, yan. So, somewhere out there, merong library for converting Markdown into PowerPoint. Pero ang ginawa ko, naganap ako ng um, online na lang na site. No? So, convert this into 3 slides presentation in Markdown. Yan. Hindi siya ano. In Markdown format. Oh, yan. Okay, sinasabi ko sa inyo, hindi siya sumusunod. Ayun, ito. Explanation of slides. Let's gawin natin. Gawa tayo ng entirely new na chat. Convert, let's see. Yan. Yan. So we take this. Okay, so ito yung site. Wait lang. Sorry. Siya tapos. We take this, copy natin siya. Copy natin siya. Tapos, ito yung site. No? So, you can paste dito. Download natin. Natin kung gagana yan. Yeah. It's crazy what we can do. Right? So, syempre, if you think about it, puro proof of concept lang to. No? Pero, slowly, this will improve over time. Or, syempre, developers tayo. You can try to create your own tools around it. Yan. So, okay. Hindi ko na i-demonstrate yung iba, no? Pero siguro one thing na I'd like to highlight this here is si Notebook LM. So si Notebook LM is kinda like Misty, pero it's hosted by Google. Yung isang favorite na gusto ko sa kanya is that it can create audio conversation, no? So yung tawag ito, ang term nila, yung podcast feature nila. So that's also another thing that you can do, no? Parang you can create an outline of what you want to learn or discuss and then plug mo dyan and then gagawa siya ng discussion. So it's also a good productivity tool when you're trying to consume information. Okay, I think that's all. I hope na parang you learned something na you can try to experiment with this. Siguro, what I'd like you guys to take away is, one, syempre, there's a reason bakit state of the art right now si ChatGPT kasi they really remove yung challenges of using a language model. Pero hindi naman yun yung parang point natin dito eh. Ang point natin dito is we want to learn and run our own version and experiment with our own tool, no? And that's what we're able to do, no? We just using Ollama and Misty, no? And yung all of the other related tools within the local Yama ecosystem are here. So I'm sure Sergio will will share naman yung presentation. Try to experiment with it. Pero for me, start with just downloading Ollama and Misty and just try it out. Try to experiment. Try to make it work and make it fail rin. And then tingnan mo how far na ba tayo? What are the things that we can do outside of ChatGPT kasi ChatGPT is syempre the state of the art pero it's behind the paywall, no? And it's only going to get better, no? I think yun yung opinion ko. It's only going to get better and the best way for you is to equip yourselves, no? Parang how can I use this better as part of my workflow in work or personal life, etc. Not because you want to be dependent, no? But you want to know how to best use the tools regardless of their limitations.